on from them leaving the pub in the back of the taxi, we go in deeper into the criminal world, in another side to Belfast, which is brilliant in their writing, because to tell a story that's deeply rooted in a location, you have to show every side, every facet, every character of this city.
I agree, from an actor's standpoint, you enjoy the kind of the craft, and when you get to do it with someone like Sean, it actually makes the day go, oh, that was great.
Good morning, Skipper.
Stevie and Grace are now living together, so that relationship has developed. But now dust has settled, and I think Stevie finds himself starting to deal with some sort of grown-up themes and also a change of role within the police. And so a lot of work, home, life things that Stevie now is having to face. That's kind of where we find him now.
I think her past probably is the biggest challenge that comes back to confront her, allowing her to be vulnerable. Rookie cops are at the end of their probation period, and there's a feeling within a lot of them that they are frustrated. I think a lot of them have come face to face with what they want to do in this job and whether it's achievable or not.
2-year fade.
The what?
Young response officers. They come in ready to change the world. After 2 years, they want to change jobs.
Haven't we? We've got the lovely Michael Smiley, plays Collie. He's been a brilliant sort of addition, I think. His character sort of lurks in the shadows a bit. It's quite a mysterious character.
I'd like to arrange a meeting in person.
Service wanker.
He's a great guy and a brilliant actor. He brings a great energy to the set, and I think the audience are going to have a nice treat with Mr. Smiley.
Good seeing you again, kiddo.
I love that about the show. I love that juxtaposition, like a really dramatic moment.
Hey, don't let it bite me, don't let it bite me!
And then this dark humour that comes from the belly. I do think that's very clever.
Where's the dog?
Dog?
Wolf? Bastards.
I think where Stevie's concerned, he finds himself in a place of not able to affect change in the way that he used to, and not as able to be as proactive.
See you tomorrow, Skipper.
I think he finds himself in that situation in life where he can't do the things or say the things that can fix the things, I think that's his biggest challenge.
Uniform, Mrs. Stevie. I'm at Leggett Children's Home. There's been an attempted kidnapping. Driver's made off at speed, grey 4x4. Didn't get a look at the VRN, over.
I think it captures the strong friendships they've formed because of these extreme situations that they sort of have to navigate.